Thank you all for joining Luxury Institute's webinar on the Livestream Shopping Revolution with Vincent Yang, co-founder and CEO of Firework. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be shared after the session. The recording is also available on Luxury Institute's website, our YouTube channel, and podcast. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A box located on your screen. We'll address as many questions as we can during the last 10 minutes. If you would like to connect privately with Vincent or Milton, please go ahead and contact us, and contact information will be provided at the end of the session. Now I'd like to hand it over to Luxury Institute CEO and DataLucent Chairman, Milton Pedraza. Milton?
Thank you, Katie. So the topic today is the live stream shopping revolution. I think we hear a lot about live stream right now, and we know that it's going to continue to revolutionize how consumers shop. Today, I have a special guest, somebody I admire and respect very much, Vincent Yang, the CEO of Firework. And Vincent is going to navigate, curate a whole tour of live stream and how we can take advantage of those opportunities. So Vincent, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Milton, Katie.
Please share a little bit of your background, some key highlights of your career, your life, and then we'll get right into live stream and Firework.
Yeah, so my background, so before I co-founded Firework, so I founded a business called Everstream. That's right after I graduated from Stanford Business Schools. So it was an AI for sales. We raised over 100 million from Lightspeed, IDG, Sequoia, and run it for about 4 years to build into $250 million scales. And then ultimately it got acquired by a public company called Zoom4. And before I go to launch my business and for business school, I spent about 6 years in investment banking with JP Morgan, with Summit Partner, focused more on the investment on the TMT side. So that's kind of a very brief background.
Now, Vincent, you have a Chinese ethnicity and a tremendous knowledge of the Chinese and the American market. What I would love to start is for you to define a little bit of Web 3.0, the live stream revolution, and then give us a comparison and contrast between the United States and China, and why that determined the strategy and the tactics that you're using for Firework. So go ahead.
Yeah, that's very good. So I was born and raised in China in the earlier side and moved to US about 12 years ago. So I got the fortune to see those places and what's happening over there. And in particular about the live stream commerce, what I'm seeing every time I go back there to see things are going very crazy in live stream commerce, and also the new shoppable concept. Over hundreds of billion-dollar sales that's generated over there. But every time when we look at the US market, and when I say US, it also includes in general the Western market, the situation is very different. So there's some key differences. But if Milton, if that's okay, can I share some of the slides so we can showcase the big difference? So so here we go. So on the high levels is what I'm seeing across both market. This is the same common themes, is the new generations, the way how they consume content is really in the live streams or the short video side. They love to consume everything on mobile. They love to purchase on mobile. That's kind of the common themes across Asia and also the Western market, right? That's why you see every single major platform have already installed the shoppable, the stories experience onto their apps. And also when it comes to live streams, every single big retailer are really trying to figure out how do we embrace the live stream in the Western market, right? The main reason why in the last 12 months, everyone is thinking about how to do that is because of this. What we are seeing is in China, the total sales of live stream e-commerce was about 135 billion last year. And remember, last year was the year what half the time China was in lockdown due to COVID, right? Pretty much every single physical retailer stores are shut down. So that's why they shifted everything to online and the amazing numbers. One thing we all thought in 2021, this year, while the COVID situation in China is a lot better, we thought this live stream shopping is just more a fad. It might go away. People might go back to the physical, environment to do shoppings. But it's not the case. Not only doesn't go back, it just further grows. This year, they're about to do about $300 billion in live stream e-commerce. Right? Even when COVID was no longer a big thing over there, the consumers, once they get used to the live stream shopping, they suddenly realize, they say, hey, I don't need to visit a physical offline. That experience is so much better. And this is the experience we talk about, right? If you look at L'Oreal's now, all the product they sell is through this type of shopping experience. And the crazy thing is, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen that just last
I read
week.
about that. I was fascinated by that. Tell us more. Tell us more.
Yeah, it was insane, right? There's just one guy, of course, he's a very famous, he, very, very well known for selling lipsticks, right? And what he did in one day is about $2 billion, 2 billion US dollars sales in one live streams in Alibaba, right? So what he did in one day is much bigger than majority of the US public companies' entire revenue, right? That's insane. And this just happened last week.
And with very low value product, right? I mean, this is lipstick, beauty products, which are very low value relatively. He built $2 billion in sales.
Exactly. He sold about, I think, 23 million pieces of lipsticks, basically within 1 hour, $23 million. That's worth about $1.1 billion lipstick sold literally within, the first 1 to 2 hours of a live stream.
Okay, now we're in the US, we're in the Western world. So tell us more how you think we're going to evolve in comparison to China.
Yeah. So as soon as people saw that, of course, we already see the early sign of how live stream works. Every single big US retailer, they just want to copy paste, right? There are so many companies that try to build an app that claim to be kind of the live streamed app, right? But it's very difficult because, this is the fundamental difference. Whereas the reason why we cannot just purely do a copy paste from China to the Western market is in China, mobile payment is a whole new level, right? 97% of transactions on e-commerce actually happen inside of a mobile app. That's what happened in China. That's why by watching a live stream inside of Alibaba, inside of a social media and purchase, this is very, very easy. And also the consumers, the places where they do shopping is inside of those apps. Whereas in the Western market, it's the exact opposite, right? People don't purchase inside of that, right? We have a lot of people here. We can all ask ourselves the question, what is the last time you buy anything inside of Instagram or Snapchat? They all have the shopping capability. They make a very big buzz about Instagram shopping and Snapchat, even TikTok shopping. The total percentage is less than 3%. 97% still happen on the website. And also going forward, I think that 3% is even going to go down because US, Western market, people really care about privacy. Right now, with the new iOS change, consumer doesn't even want the app to track their cookies or location. Now you're telling me I'm going to give them my credit card, my home address, my social IDs to a social media app. Am I going to do that? Just think about it. No one's going to do that. That's why in the Western market, it's fundamentally different. The format is the same thing. I always talk to marketers, right? You put in the right format, and sometimes we put into the wrong place. Social media is not the place to do shopping. The places where shopping happens is on a website, is on a retailer website, is on a D2C website, is on a Shopify site, a WooCommerce website. That's the places where shopping happens. I think that's the biggest difference between US and China.
So that's how you conceive Firework, to cater to brands directly as opposed to sponsor them on platforms. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, Milton, that's spot on. So when I, was visiting, China to see my parents, et cetera, to see, wow, this is what's happening over there, right? And the live shoppings and talking to the people inside of Alibaba and just pretty much wowed by the volume of sales they're driving. I constantly think, what can we do in the Western market, right? Because we already know, we are living in a very different soil, right? The environment is so different. So in the Western market where things happening on the website, so suddenly we thought about idea, hey, there are 350 million websites in the Western market with 250 billion monthly visits. It's actually way larger than just 4 or 5, water garden apps. But when you look at the website experience hasn't changed too much since the early 2000s, right? What's the last time all of us are super amazed by the website? Say, I'm going to bookmark this site. I'm going to go to the website every day. I haven't bookmarked any single site since 1998, right? Because website is just, again, image, text, it doesn't change.
And I'll add one thing, Vincent. So a lot of luxury brands used to say, we're not going to go on e-commerce because we can't replicate the in-store experience, the human experience. And so eventually they did succumb and they built their brochureware websites. What I see then now is an opportunity to bring it to life, right? To bring your website to life.
Exactly. That's Milton, this is exact opportunity what we are seeing as well, right? Final shopping still happens on a website, right? But the experience is not there. And when you look at the social media app, the experience is there, but the intent is not there. I'm not opening Snapchat to say, I'm going to do grocery retailer shopping. I'm going to do fashion shopping. No, I'm just watching what my friends are doing. I'm opening TikTok to see the funny videos, right? And what people are doing, crazy backflips. That's what I wanted to entertain. But when I open a fashion website, I'm putting my wallet open. I might buy something. That's very different. So what Firework does is merely bringing the experience that already works for consumer, which is short video, live streams, and onto the website. This is what we do, right? We are telling the world to say, look, on a website, it doesn't need to be just traditional static image. Website can be very interesting. Website can bring, Milton, what you said is about the human interactions from an offline shopping experience to the online, right? Website is no longer just a place to find information where the address and the location. Website can be a place that actually deliver this human emotion, as human connections. That's what the thing that inspired me, myself, and my co-founders, the whole teams, to build an entire business out of it.
And how did you get funded? Who believed in your idea? And tell us a little bit about how it evolved.
Yes. So on the funding side, a little bit intro on the business. We have raised close to about 90 million. So we are funded by the top venture firms in the Valley, like IDGs, GSRs, Lightspeed, and recently also joined by American Express, right? And again, with the similar goals about thinking, how do we together bring this live shopping, e-commerce experience to every single website and merchants, right? That's kind of how we get funded. And then, we raised the largest round in the entire space. And then, we quickly leveraged this funding to grow our team to 200 people within a short time of less than 3 years, and cover pretty much every single areas except the mainland China, right? People think, why you're not doing it inside of China? Is because the environment is different. There's no website. Everything is dominated by 4 apps, right? Whereas in the US, it's the opposite. That's why, we only operate in the Western market. So.
Fascinating. And I know you brought in some talent, some really top talent from other companies that had the expertise to help you build this, right?
Yeah, so we are very fortunate to actually attract people with a similar vision. So for example, the global head of sales from Snapchat to join us and run our entire sales as our CROs. Our head of engineer was formerly the head of engineer in Alibaba Tmall. He was the one that kind of built the new content experience, the shoppable video, and the live stream experience inside of the Alibaba. So he was the one that actually lead a big team that actually built it. Right now, that's why we really feel confident that Refire will understand both market, right? What's happening over there, but also what's happening over here, and then combine them all together. So that's kind of what we are feel pretty good about.
So one thing that I want you to riff a little bit about is Web 3.0. Because when I first met you, you had a vision about the decentralized web based on 3.0. So tell us a little bit about what that looks like with respect to Firework. How does Firework manifest a decentralized web 3.0?
Yes. So, again, I want to show you some visuals. So I like this kind of the illustration. So, this is the current status, right? Before Firework comes in, as you can see, brands are pretty much just circling around the platform, right? The Web 2, so let's go back. Web 1.0 is every website. Remember the Yahoo in the early days of the internet, everybody has a website, right? And suddenly the Web 2.0 is suddenly all the traffic goes to the platforms, right? We call the platform eras, and everything go to a social media app. The 4 social media app pretty much dominate all the traffic. Then every single brand, right, we're just basically circling around a marketplace, whether it's a Snapchat, a TikTok, right? But the biggest challenge for brands is there's no ownership, there's no control, there's no user loyalty. Users are not loyal to the individual brands, right? And also because it's a walled gardens, right? And then there's so many people, so many creators. A single brand is competing with 20 million TikToker creators. It's very hard. What Fiverr wanted to create is a different way, first and foremost, right? The first and foremost is, hey, you as a brand, right? As a luxury brand, let's first bring that experience to your website. Right? That's kind of the first and foremost, right? Owning the experience first on a website. But many people ask the question, but my website doesn't have traffic, right? And social has traffic, and then open web has traffic. Then use Firework technology to broadcast to all your social. We also, integrate very deeply with many retailers. We also work with many publishers, right? You can use the technology to actually broadcast to all of those places.
Okay,
right?
so it's actually not just technology, like I've seen other technology that's live stream that really is for your website. You have created essentially a network so that I can broadcast out to, I'm seeing different publishers and even partner with other companies, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what we focus on, is the entire network that we created. That's kind of the key elements for it, to really, allowing the business not only to upgrade their experience, but also benefit from the traffic inside of this entire networks. We wanted to create an ecosystem. That's what I call the Web 3.0. First and foremost, it was decentralized, right? It's include thousands of websites from publishers, from retailers, from everyone. Right, they're using Firework as a common infrastructure to upgrade their shopping experience, right? Then the second thing we do is connect them, connecting a publisher, for example, to a brand, right? Publisher has a lot of the great audiences, right? But they might not have the shopping capability, they might not have the brands, but the brand has. We wanted to connect them together. And that's what we are, the building right now.
Now, you say that live stream shopping, and this is particularly important for luxury and premium brands, is becoming a huge driver of building loyal customer relationships. Explain a little bit more about that, and then I have more questions about that.
Yeah, I think the people that use the Firework, they're seeing a very different experience, right? And I think the first benefit to luxury brands is the number one is about increasing engagement directly on the site. Again, what we are trying to create is bring the physical offline experience. Think about offline shopping, right? I go to a store of a Gucci or other, you browse around, you try to discover product, you talk to the, the sales assistant, etc., right? Or the account executive over there. But those type of experience, the human touch, human interaction just doesn't exist online. So now that if we bring that experience to online, the first and foremost we're seeing is people tend to stay much longer on the website. They tend to stay about 5 times longer directly on the website. That's the first thing what a luxury brand is seeing. Second thing is seen as the same thing. Now, if I stay in the store longer, I browse longer, I have an emotional connection with the person behind the website, I tend to shop more. What we are seeing is about active shopping carts starting to increase, right? And also the basket size starting to increase, where I've seen some of our clients increase the entire basket size by 70%. As long as they engage with a short video or live stream experience, they're starting to buy more. They buy a lot more. That's the second one. The third benefit we're seeing is repeat customers. Again, for a long time, website is boring. Website is not the place people think about first, right? But now with those experience, right, is visiting a website is almost the same as, visiting a TikTok or Pinterest, right? Now imagine your favorite brand, right? People go back to often. This is a very interesting thing what we're seeing is because on the one side, we have media company. We also have e-commerce company. Every single e-commerce company want to be a media company. Right? Every single media company want to be e-commerce company. What we are seeing is those two are merging together, right? So the best part of media is people can come back every day. Sometimes I'm not shopping. I just wanted to get inspired. I just want to get inspired about maybe different fashion styles I can wear. I'm not coming here for shopping, right? But you're getting me back. Every time I get back, I might buy something. So these are the three key things: increase engagement, increase conversions, and the most important part is increase repeat customers, increase LTVs. Those are the three things.
It's interesting because I just went to the Zegna site because I'm going to New York next week from Florida. And I wanted to see what new jackets do they have. And it was a very static experience. Having gone through some of your demos, it was like, oh man, I guess I better go to the store. And then I go, but I have no time to go to the store. So I'm wishing that Zegna, my favorite brand, would open up a live stream process. So now let me ask you this. I'm Gucci or I'm Zegna. And I say, Vincent, I want to get into live stream. What is the way? Navigate me through what are the things I need to do in order to expand, scale my live stream capabilities?
I think the way there are three things, what I normally talk to the brands, they need to start into, it's the typical playbook, right? So the first playbook is about the content. Everything is about the content. They need to think about is who's going to do the live stream and for what purposes. Most of the people only think about, every time when they talk about live stream is celebrities, hire the biggest celebrities, right? Pay a lot of monies. So that's the first misconception many brands have. But when you look at China, the one that actually drive the biggest sales, they're just normal person. And many times it's the own employees of the stores, like the sales assistants, right? Because they're the one that can very passionately talk about this. That's the fundamental difference, because unlike social media, because a lot of people, well, I need a big celebrity to create a buzz. Yes, if you are doing live stream on social.
That's exactly what I heard from one of the top fashion brands. They said to me, I want Justin Bieber to go to my store in Soho, and I want them to curate an entire shopping session. And I said, well, that's not going to happen every day, okay?
Yeah, that's not going to happen, and it's very expensive. And when it comes to e-commerce, it's LTV to CAC, right? Because doing a live stream on social is almost like selling in a farmer's market. Imagine there are like 5,000 people. You have to yell very loud just to get attention. That's why I can understand why people paying celebrities and big influencers a lot of money. But we're talking about a different thing. I'm talking about doing things directly on your website. Me as a consumer, I'm already on a website. I'm already on Gucci.com. I'm already interested in buying something. You don't need to do crazy stuff. You don't need to do 5 backflips, right, to get my attention. You already have my attention. I'm here. Now what I need to see is authenticity. Can you show me the product? Instead of image, can you have, let's replicate an offline experience, have a shopping assistant enthusiastically talk to me about what are you selling? How do I use it? Right? So that type of experience. So that's the number one, is about really think about content strategy. How are we going to use the content, right? That's the first one. The second one is about integration to the website, right? It's actually fairly easy. So normally I recommend the brands to do 2 ways. One is if the website, they already have, a live stream landing page or dedicated campaign page, you can use Firework directly on a page. It's actually very easy. If you use Shopify or WooCommerce or some of the well-knowns, the CMS as your backend, you don't even need to write a single line of code. The integration, what I call is no code integration. It's up there running right away. And you can immediately start live stream directly from your website. That's the second very important thing, is the technology piece, setting up on the site. We talk about content, we talk about technology. Now, the third very important piece is traffic. Where do you get the traffic, right? Most of the cases, nobody is visiting your website. That's the biggest misconception. People are like, yes, Vincent, I got it. I'm going to do live stream, but no one visits my website. How do I deal with that? Right? We talk about it because we Firework have already built a very big ecosystem and networks with publishers, with retailers, right? Your website is still the center because I want you to own the data. That's the very important piece, right? You need to own the consumer data, not just the retail, but you can broadcast to your social, to all your email subscriber. Using our technology, you can embed that into the emails, put that onto the most relevant publishers. Let's say if you are doing, a lifestyles fashion brands, you can now broadcast it to, let's say, Elle or Condé Nast and some of the top premium publisher. They have the audience, right? And also to your favorite retailers. So that is the way you get the traffic. And also those are the traffic, that's the right traffic because people are already buying something. Because people say, I can buy traffic on Instagram. That's not the right way because I'm not buying stuff. It's the right format, wrong place. You need the right format in the right place.
So let me just see if I understood correctly. So I'm Gucci, and I developed a live stream shopping vignette, a video or a live stream, let's call it concept for 10, 15 minutes. So you're saying I can not only post that on my US website, but also across the entire world, so I'm assuming I can translate it, right? But I can post that in the entire world. I can also take that if it's a really fine video, a really solid video, I can do an ad in the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, any of the great publications, Travel and Leisure. Is that what you're suggesting, that I can distribute that?
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting. You can further distribute that. So.
And then what about all of my 7,000, if I'm Gucci, 5,000 to 7,000 sales associates around the world? How do I deploy them on a human cause to build relationships with live streaming?
Exactly. So what we have a technology is essentially empowering all of your sales rep, basically have their own little site with the live stream directly onto it. And all what they need to do, because I know all of your 7,000s, the sales rep, they all have a social group. They all have their Rolodex, right? They all have their social following themselves, etc. Right. How do they use this? Now they can, instead of just saying, hey, visit my Instagram, right? Now they can put the link, right? It's www.gucci/ their names and the dedicated live stream. Everything still drive to the site, right? But you can have 7,000 sales reps doing 7,000 different live streams at the same time, targeting different audience, right? But the whole thing is powered by the entire company, everything linked to shopping.
Right, and when we train sales associates, we always taught them to do clienteling, right? Which is the outreach that they do in order to get people to come to the store, or at least to do a phone call. And we used to send consignment if they couldn't show up to the store. So now what you're making me think is that this is live stream clienteling, where I'm going to reach out to, let's say, my 150 customers, or maybe a small subset of them, my best ones. And I'm going to create an appointment with them for 10 or 15 minutes on Friday at 2 p.m. to show the latest Gucci collection. Is that part of it?
That's exactly right. So, because before Firework, people do, the sales rep, they're already doing a little bit of say, hey, I'm going to do a live stream and I'll see you at Friday night at my Instagram account. Right? That's not very good. First of all, Instagram, I post, for me, I have kids there. I have my kids there, and I have a lot of random content on my Instagram. It's not brand safe, right? The brand is not going to really look into that, right? So now instead of but I like the format, right? And don't drive it to your Instagram account. That's just not the right way, right? Drive it to your dedicated live stream page, right? And then you do that. That's kind of and then you capture all data, who come in, who's asking questions directly. So that's a very different experience.
Okay, do you have any examples that you can share with me? Not only of the visual, let's say what the visual looks like, but also what are some of the KPIs that are coming through? I mean, I read something that there could be as much as a 20x increase in conversion. Is that a real number?
Yeah, I would say the 20x increase in conversion, it depends on the brands, because technology is one thing. The key thing is about content, how they're doing the content. Yes, we definitely have seen if they really execute very well from a content perspective, yeah, they can get that numbers, because historically it was very low on the website, right? But it's all about the content. What we've seen in the average, people increase the add to shopping cart from all the way from 70% increase all the way to about 20x increase. So, right. So, and with that in mind, so I can show some examples.
Please show us some examples, and then let's talk about travel and other categories. Okay.
Yes. So this is first I want to start with this. So this is the 10/10 shopping festival. So, Firework empowers the entire shopping festival across all the fashion brands. And this is how they're selling, right? This is an example of the sets, right? So they're putting it here as a one destination for that. But meanwhile, they also put it on a website. Now let's take a look. So when I visit a website, this is all the, the bags, right? But unlike traditional website, this is just static image. Suddenly I saw someone talking to me, right? It never happened before, right? Because, website never talked to me. And then I cannot help click onto it.
So this is what we use when we first.
And when you click onto it, and then you're seeing something very different, right? On the left side, you're seeing the actual people chatting, asking questions. And on the right side, you're seeing actually, the people shopping. People can buy, shop now, because I'm already on the website, right? And that's kind of the experience where you're seeing, right? You can put it into the smaller screen. You don't want to, bother you too much. You can do shoppings. But then if you wanted to know more and watch the whole thing.
Well, I almost envisioned that every single product would have a live video. Am I too optimistic?
No, not at all. I really,
especially for luxury, right? I mean, these are $5,000 handbags. Why wouldn't you have someone curating that? I'm not necessarily live, but recorded, curating that beautiful product. Am I crazy?
No, not crazy at all. So as you can see, a lot of them just work in a company. They're not celebrities. They're not the influencer per se, but I don't need a celebrity here. I'm already on a website. Show it to me how the bag will look and feel and pair up with the clothing lines, right? So that's kind of how things look like. And there are so many other examples, right? This is, for example, how Elizabeth Arden was doing, right? This is directly, on the website. When you open it up, right? I'm seeing the live streams happening right now, right? Let's turn it right. So let me unmute this.
Yeah, let's hear it. It's a little hard to hear, but I think we're getting it.
Right. So the whole idea is all about just let me show it to you how to use it, right? It's very, very good for a lot of the cosmetics lines, how they're showing the products. And guess where I am? I'm not on Twitch. I'm not on YouTube. I'm directly on their website, right?
It's interesting.
Because I'm directly on the website, they have all the user data. And now let's see if I want to buy something, what happened? I'm continuing listening to them. This is very interesting. I want to click shop now. So I go directly to, I can add to the bag right now. right? I'm already building a basket of over 1,000, right? And while the live stream continues to show, it's almost like it's a companion, right? And I keep listening, I go back to it.
So Vincent, do you think that every store becomes a studio, that there will be spaces in the store so that it will become a studio where you broadcast?
Yeah, so Milton, it's very interesting. I learned this phrase, every store is a studio. France and the chief innovation officer from a big agency that oversees so many different brands. So in their vision, they're already thinking about, they're like the 5 years from now, every single physical stores will be a studios, right? Because offline shopping is now part of the option now. It's not the only thing. Online, it will be taking a very big piece. So yes, it's a very interesting trend where I'm seeing more and more brands are moving towards.
So now let me ask you another provocative question. So one of the problems that retailers have right now is attracting talent. And a lot of it is because very often it might be a mom or a dad who's taking care of kids, or who needs to be near the home. So could I convert the home as a studio for my sales associates? I'll give you an example. Chanel, allegedly, I heard this from people inside the company, they were allowing the personal shoppers, the private client people who deal with the top 5% of clients, to work from home one day. So could I set them up in their home or in a space nearby or in the home to have their own studio and broadcast from there?
So as a matter of fact, when we do the live shopping event with 30 different brands, everybody was doing it at the home, right? So what we do is there is a Firework camera to be the front end. You just download it on your phone. You just put your phone up and then that's it. And then you can start the live stream right now. So it's just very simple. You can do it at your home, and that's the future, right? So your shopping assistant is homes, right? But again, the key difference is we're separating their social media and the corporate, right? That will be showing on directly on the corporate website, but it's their own live streams versus going everything to their social and blending the luxury bag with what their kids are doing, what everything is. It's not that professional. So that's why it brings the live stream setting into a very professional selling settings.
So it's interesting because I've had dialogues with very high-level luxury executives. And one of the things they bring up, and I think you remember that we were talking to a hotel group, and they said, well, we're a little afraid to empower our people that much because, oh my God, we're going to put them on a camera, right? And I said, well, don't your salespeople interact with people every day? Like, don't you think there's a risk there? Or, you know, the person who greets me at the hotel reception, are they a risk? So I wanted to dispel this notion, maybe you can help me with that, oh no, we can't empower people to do live streaming. Like we have to have them be Hollywood trained. Oh my God, you know, they're too natural. Oh my God, what if they blow up the brand? They could have blown up the brand in the store years ago. So how do we address that? Because I know it's an honest concern by executives.
So Milton, I really agree with that. So I think one word is called authenticity. And that authenticity is actually very important for what I call the digital born generation, like millennials and Gen Z, right? So I'm a millennial. The way we look at things is anything we feel like it's a commercial, it's an ad, you know what we do? We block it, right? That's why 760 million devices have ad block. Every time people feel like it was fake, because every single commercial, right? The millennials now these days, Gen Z, they're like, this is fake. This is not authentic. This is an ad. The minute they saw this is an ad, they just stop paying attention. Don't sell me anything, right? But are we saying people don't watch ad? No, they watch a lot of ad. They got influenced a ton, but they really want to be influenced. They don't want to be advertised.
Or sold to, yes.
They wanted to see what their peers are doing, right? What other normal persons is doing and showcase directly to them. It's gonna be real, it's gonna be authentic. Yes, all the website, don't get me wrong, the homepage definitely should focus on branding. Beautiful, have all the top celebrities, but what many brands, what they do, they can create landing pages, right? They can create a landing page, have, let's say hotels have, you know, the concierge, even the doorman showcase, hey, welcome in to my hotels. I want to show you the rooms. Let me actually physically show you the rooms. It's a very different experience. And then you can drive traffic directly to the landing page. You can compare that landing page versus the homepage, which converts better, right? And 10 out of 10, the brand is very surprised about when they bring the authenticity to the website, people have a different emotion triggered on a website. They buy a lot more.
So let me ask you a question about small brands. So I'm an entrepreneur. Let's say I own 1 or 2 or 3 stores, bookstores, shops, maybe even food stores, cupcake. How do I compete in this space? How do I get into live streaming? I have limited resources, but I do have a very unique brand. So how can you work with small businesses?
That's a good question. So let's step back 1 second. All the e-commerce, right? In the US, if you look at Shopify, there are millions of stores opening up on Shopify, right? So they're all small, right? There are the big ones, but majority, 80% are the small stores. So the key question is, how do they survive? They don't have traffic. They don't have socials. How do they survive, right? The key essence in my mind about, because I'm a math major, the whole thing about e-commerce is LTV to CAC, right? How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? You do Google ads and all type of ads, maybe at $2 a click onto the website, $1 a click. How much does it take you to convert? Historically, is about 1%, right? Conversion rate. So, okay, you acquire a user for $1, you convert them at 1%. So meaning a paid customer, your cost of acquisition is $100. If your product, your gross margin is more than $100, you make money. But that's based on a 1% conversion. Okay, now, when they adopting the live stream and short videos, what they normally see is that 1% sometimes go to 2%, 3%, even 5%. What immediately make is before Firework, you are profitable. You have to sell product more than $100, but now you will be profitable as soon as you sold $20 because your cost of acquisition for a paid customer has been reduced significantly. And when a customer likes your products, you know what? They're going to come back next time by themselves without seeing an ad, what we call organic user, right? Right now, for most of the smaller SMB, their organic user percentage is close to 0. Every single user to come into them is paid traffic. But then you're starting to see a 10% organic traffic, 20% organic traffic. Those people are for free. You don't acquire them. Everything they buy is pure gross margin to you. That's what we're seeing is the small business. They continue to drive traffic from Facebook and Google. They buy traffic, but using Firework. They can also drive traffic using us, which is even more cost effective. But also, when you drive a click, they put live stream and short videos, their conversion rate is going to increase a lot. Their ROI is going to increase a lot. For a struggling business that barely above the water, they will be profitable right away.
Interesting. Now, I know you've been signing up some huge accounts. I saw Albertsons, Heinz. Can you share a little bit about some of those big clients and how they're using Firework?
Yeah. So for big accounts, they're using Firework in a very different ways. The huge, big retailers, right? So why don't I just show an example so everybody can see how that look like. So this is Albertsons Safeways, right? So there are every single month there are 30 to 60 million people visiting the website. So for them, the problem is not about I don't have traffic. The problem is there is traffic, right? But how do I convert them? How do I offer a much better experience? How do I have people to love this? Right. Historically, the problem for all the transactional website, right? And even if you look at the retailer like Macy's, all the others, they don't go there to browse around. There's no discovery, right? I'm already going there when I already know I'm going to buy banana, I'm going to buy that. There's no discovery. There's no inspirations, right? Just looking at those images, it's very hard to get inspired by looking at those images, right? But now look at this. Right. And that experience is just very, very different, right? As soon as I saw a bars of short videos, and when you click onto it, right, that's kind of the experience what I'm seeing, right? Yeah. And then it's actually very different, right? It actually inspired me to shop more, right?
Oh, and yeah, it's a combination. It's like real food, a real salad, as opposed to one lettuce, one carrot, and one onion. I totally get it. Yeah. Totally.
Right, that's a very different experience. And the other thing is I want to show you how it shifted to mobile, right? When you look at the mobile experience, this is how 70% of people are visiting a website. But when on the mobile setting, this is how it looked like, right? Literally, and suddenly this website, right, is turning from a bottom of the funnel transaction site now become Pinterest, now become Pinterest for food, right? Many times. Now I want to come back every day. I may not try to buy something, but it's the same thing how consumers using Pinterest every day to see what's new, what's interesting, what are the food recipes. Now I can watch it here and look at this experience.
Because I find I go to YouTube to find recipes. Now I can come directly to Albertsons or Publix or whoever, right?
Right. That's kind of the key thing. Now you don't need to go to any other social places, right? Now you actually go to the place, let's say this is a meatless, the vegan burger. Look at that, right? That definitely inspired me to buy more, to shop more. And I wanted to come back more because again, this is the inspiration piece. Now you're bringing to all the shoppers now.
Okay, I did want to do one little section before we open it up to questions. There are some questions. You and I talked about what are the most frequently asked questions that are challenges for people that to overcome. So can you share that and just riff through that a little bit?
Yeah. So one of the biggest questions what people ask, there are normally like 3 questions, right? One of the biggest question people ask is say, oh, why don't I just do it on social, right? Doing it on Facebook Live and YouTube Live and a lot of those places to do live. And then here's an example is what I can show you today, right? Okay. And they just do it live on the socials. And, it's not the case. So for example, we work with a brand called Heinz. It's not a luxury brand, but it's a similar CPG brand, right? They used to do it on socials, right? And this is when they do a live stream on Facebook Live, only 167 people view. YouTube, only 17 people view. Again, YouTube has traffic, but YouTube is not the place for shopping. Even if they have traffic, you'd have billions of people but the traffic is not yours, right? Traffic belongs to the big celebrities, the big, content. I'm going to YouTube for entertainment. I'm not going there literally just to watch, a live stream shopping. It's the wrong place, right? But now with Firework, they kind of change a lot, right? Hundreds of thousands of views on that. Engagement is actually very, very high onto this, directly onto the website using our networks. So it's a very different experience, right? And also a lot of people ask me this question. Oh, I'm just going to do live streaming on Amazon, right? Now let's take a look. This is Amazon. Right. This is another example is where, it's the right live stream, but the wrong place. This is the Amazon homepage, right? The homepage has tens of million people, hundreds of million people a month, right? Now you see the live stream experience, right? But when you see this is the homepage for Amazon, look at how many people watch it, less than 500. And that's pretty much it, right? This is again, right? Less than, and then when you go to a dedicated homepage for Amazon Live, right? The best of the best, that's the only place you have some big traffic. 500, but all the others, let's say, if I click onto it, you have 25 people watching. That's it, right? So why are you doing that? Why are you spending all the production costs to do this, put it on Amazon Live and have 25 people watching, right? This is the biggest misconception for all of the CMO I talk to say, oh, Vincent, I'm just going to do it on Amazon Live because there's tons of traffic on Amazon. Yes, when people go to Amazon, I already know what to buy. I'm just going there to buy it. Amazon is not a place I go there to discover, to find what more can I buy, right? So that's actually the biggest question I got to ask you. And hopefully, this can address some of the concern. Your website is the key.
Well, the reason why I'm so emphatic about luxury brands using this is because we have very, very rich sensory products. They're high value, high risk in some cases because it's investment, high investment, and high emotion. Live stream to me plays to all of those. But in addition, the engagement, the human interaction, the opportunity, I may not want it as much with toilet paper or paper towels, and I'm using an extreme example. And when I look at what Albertsons and what Heinz are doing with these products that are very, let's say, mainstream products, it just inspires me to think, my God, what could Bulgari do? What could Cartier do? What could Rolex do? What could Louis Vuitton do? What could real estate brands do? And of course, what can hospitality brands do? So to me, when I look at luxury, the high value of the experience and the relationship building, it's almost like low-hanging fruit to do live streaming more than anybody else, to be honest. I know it's a little snobby to say, but if Heinz can do it and Albertsons can do it so brilliantly, luxury brands should be able to take it up 10x. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. You're definitely right. So I think they can really do it. They can really allow them to control their own destinies. All the luxury brand we talk to, they're like, look, they got stuck at retailers because their website is not functioning. They got stuck. On the one side, they have to rely on retailer, but when they do on a retailer, they don't have too much choices. They don't own the data. They don't own the consumer. Sometimes they don't even know who purchased for what, right? And they cannot control their own storytelling. That's why when Firework comes in, we show them a way to control the destiny. That's kind of the key takeaways.
Yes. So now, thank you, Vincent. I do have a question. If people want to get a copy of your deck, can they contact you at the email that's there?
They contact me on this is my email address. And also, on our website, pretty much all the thing what I showed is already, becoming available on the content. And anyone that's interested, feel free to request for a demo to talk directly to me and all of our, the sales teams.
Okay, so now I'm going to hand it over to Katie for questions because I did see several. Katie?
Great. Thank you, Milton. Thank you, Vincent. One in particular question is about inventory and availability on the website. So how is Firework connecting to the inventory on the website? How is the person on live stream able to see what is available, what's been sold out, things of that nature?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, Katie, I'm just going to show it to you. Let's see right away in real cases. This is Heinz, right? The Heinz showed a dedicated experience of the live stream experience, right? And then when you open up the live streams, right? Again, everything is live stream. And it connected deeply to their shoppings. So when you integrate Firework to a website, whether it's a Shopify WooCommerce, it automatically integrate. Now you see when they're talking about product, you see one of the product, this Halloween face mask is already sold out. It will already show sold out, right? Where the other products are not, right? So that you can see because it deeply integrate with the shopping. And when I click shop now, let's see what happens, right? I go to the smaller screens, right? And I'm going to directly to add to cart and shopping right away. And again, our backend is already integrated with the Shopify, WooCommerce, and WordPress and everything they do, right? So let's say when I select a size and a quality color to add to cart, it will be reflected here, right? So anyway, so that's kind of the experience you will see.
Hey, Katie.
Excellent. Thank you. Vincent, the next question is about, and we did talk about this a bit, but working for services as well as products. So in particular, real estate, travel services. I think in particular, it would be very interesting for real estate agents to use this technology. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think real estate is very good. It's like you remember the weekend housing tours, right? So now instead of just meeting in person, why don't you just do live stream to all of your clients? It's much effective, right? And you can record it. Live stream it doesn't mean just live, right? It can be recorded live. It can be on a website all the times. So
Vincent, do you happen to have an example of travel that you could share?
For the travel examples, yes. So I can share. So travel comes from two ends. So now let's take a look. Share my experience already. So travel, we help on both sides. So first of all, is on the airlines. Right now, we also helping deeply onto the variety of airlines and how they're using the Firework perspectives, right? And then this is on. Oh, okay. So this is the new experience. I think this is just on the beta side, and so this is the EasyJets. And what they're trying to do very soon is about how the short videos with showcasing that the different travel destinations and all the others, right? And then on the other side is all about the hotels, and hotels are doing live stream. They did all the live streams in China on Ctrip, which is the destination. Now what Firework is helping them to say, hey, hotels can also use Firework to do live stream on their website and broadcast into all the airlines, broadcast into all the travel destinations. So that's kind of what we're about to see.
Thank you. Katie, what's the next one?
Great, thank you. How do you integrate the unstructured data created as well as the structured? Does a company have the access to unstructured data to be able to implement further AI or analytics?
Yes, that's a very good question. So yes, the answer is here's how they do it. So every single data that we capture is fed back to the clients because we are B2B companies, right? We don't capture the data ourselves, we feed it back to the clients. And then that goes every single detail about what video do they watch, how long do they spend, what do they chat, what do they interact, and even during the live stream, you can see in real time, what is the thing that the live streamer said that immediately triggers a lot of message? What do they think they said immediately triggers a lot of add to shopping cart? And all of data will be fed back to the client. Right? Machine learning is a very big topic. When we work with big retailers, right, we actually feed all of the behavioral data about people watching videos together to the shopping actual data so people can do recommendations. So for example, for different people come to the website, they will see different videos. And also in real time, if we notice that you're not interested in this product, when you swipe next, it will change. You can do it even in real-time serving. It's the same thing now on YouTube, on Instagram. All the feed is personalized to you. right? Now, when they work with Firework, we have an advanced machine learning package. Now you can also do real times, the recommendations person by person.
So Vincent, this has been a clinic. I did start out thinking it was going to be a clinic, an educational webinar on a live stream and the live stream revolution, but that's what it became, and I'm very grateful to you. I want to give you the final word. If you were talking to me as a brand, large or small, what is it that you would say to inspire me to take on live streaming?
I think what I would say to, if I just have one word, is about, control your destinies, control your audience, right? We already know this live stream format works inside of a walled gardens, right? Now take it out, put it onto the website. And it's actually very simple, right? Control it, control your user, control your experience, control your shopping. And that's kind of what I would do, right? And you will see a whole new change. Make yourself as a walled garden, right? And that's kind of the key thing. Getting people come back to you, not going to a social media to find you and spending just 10 seconds onto it. Getting people to come back to you more often. So that's kind of the key change we're seeing. It's already happening.
Thank you, Vincent. I think with that, we'll leave it there. I know people can get the slides, and I want to thank you again for being so gracious with your time, and all of you for being so gracious with your time, and I believe it was a good investment. So thank you. All the best. See you guys soon.
Thank you very much, Milton and Katie. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, bye-bye.
That's it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.